Meanwhile, our foreign editor Sophie Mukwena sat down with the chairperson of the Board of African Risk Capacity, Dr. Ngozi Okonje-Iweala, and the chairman of the AFRC, Dr. Lars Thunnell, to unpack this initiative.
African Risk Capacity is an agency of the African Union established in 2012. And it does something very, very important for African countries. This is an agency that has developed an innovative approach to helping African countries manage weather-based events. It has done that by establishing the Africa Risk Capacity Limited, which sells insurance policies, and Dr. Thunnell will explain in more detail, to African countries so that in case of drought and eventually flood and extreme climate events, they will be able to get an insurance payout, which they can use immediately to help the affected people. Now, why is this important? In the past, when we have known droughts, floods, what we have is, a UN appeal, which we very much appreciate. But then it takes time. And during that time, you see pictures of African children starving, livestock dead, pictures that are not palatable. When we are there waiting for someone else to come and put money together, funds to be donated to help us. Now we said, no, we have to turn this around. Africans have to take charge of their own destiny in this regard. They have to develop a mechanism to manage these events. Then the donor funding and the support can come later. And that is what this African Risk Capacity does.
We have developed a database based on weather data going back 30 years over little squares all over Africa, so we can see how much it has rained. And we're using updating that data through satellite now all the time, and therefore you can start to see trends, and we can compare that with the historical numbers, and therefore you can also do insurance. So what we do based on that, we decide what type of program the government would like to have. They decide that. Would they like to insure themselves against an event every 20 years, every 4 years, or every 100 years? It's their decision. But then they pay a premium and they get insured. And then we reinsure ourselves in the international reinsurance market. So this becomes a true public-private partnership, and it's very innovative, and I think this is an area where actually Africa is taking the lead. We got a tremendous response from around the world